Hello, everybody. Welcome back once again to this Crew First Culture podcast. My name is Jeremy, and I want to say thank you for joining me today. Today is Monday Mindset Check, and actually the Monday of Christmas week for us. So, wherever you're listening to this, if at least if it's before Christmas, I want to say that I hope you're having a great week. I hope that you're getting everything kind of finished up for Christmas. I know we still have a few things that we're still having to take care of before then. We got a busy week. I work Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Friday is Christmas, so I have to work on Christmas, but have several things in between on the days that I'm off with family, and so like I said, it's going to be a busy week. But looking forward to it. As always, I've said it before. I really enjoy family time, and especially these times that we're getting together, as far as like holidays or just the big family get-togethers. I really enjoy them. So looking forward to it. I hope you are as well. I hope you have some fun things planned, or at least get some time to really enjoy kind of this time of year, the holidays, or whatever it is that helps you to feel happy and to be fulfilled. I hope that you have plenty of that planned. So to get started, this is going to sound kind of funny, but I love Christmas music. It's interesting because I love it. Some of my kids love it. Some of our kids don't love it. My wife, she does not love it. She'll listen to a few songs, and like when we're putting up our tree and doing things like that around the house, she'll tolerate some Christmas music, but she's just not a big fan. So I listen to Christmas music through headphones, or when we're driving around with the kids, and she's not with us sometimes, but just trying to be respectful. But I I was listening to Christmas music yesterday as we were kind of cleaning the house and doing some stuff around the house. And this is something I do, and I don't know if anybody else does it, but sometimes a certain song will just hit me, and it just, I don't know, it speaks to me, or however you want to say it. It just really kind of hits me in a way that I just can't explain. And so I will sit there and I will just listen to one song over and over again. And I literally listened to this song for hours yesterday, just over and over again. And like I said, this is just, it's something that every once in a while I do, and it's not always the same song. It's sometimes it's different songs. It's sometimes it just depends on what mood I'm in and whatever song hits me. But so that's kind of what I did yesterday. I listened to the same song for literally several hours. But it's just, the words were really powerful to me, and it's a Christmas song, and it's probably a Christmas song that a lot of people haven't heard, and I'll get into it here in a second. But I just, as I listened to it more, and as I kind of learned the words and really paid attention to what it was saying, it was very impactful to me. And so getting into that, basically, and don't be scared, or don't worry, I'm not going to sing this song, but I wrote the words down, and I'm going to read them. I'm going to try to attempt to read them without kind of, it's a weird deal when you're trying to read lyrics and the song, so you're trying to just say them in a normal way, but your mind wants to kind of halfway put them in a rhythm. So we'll see how it goes. But the song is called When You Believe, and it's by the Pentatonix, which actually, I don't know how well known they are. They're a group that, I'm trying to think of the word. Uh, they basically, they don't have instruments. They're a cappella group. There we go. Sorry, but this one is actually featuring Maren Morris, and they have actually got several of my favorite Christmas songs. They just another one of and I again a couple days ago I got hooked on their another one of their songs, "Mary Did You Know," and it literally is one of the best Christmas songs I've ever heard. I mean, it's really it's another powerful song. But anyway, getting back to this one. So I will just read the words and we'll kind of go from there. So here we go. Many nights we've prayed with no proof anyone could hear. In our hearts, a hopeful song we barely understood. Now we are not afraid, although we know there's much to fear. We were moving mountains long before we knew we could. In this time of fear, when prayer so often proves in vain, hope seems like a summer bird too swiftly flown away. Yet now I'm standing here, my heart's so full I can't explain, seeking faith and seeking words I never thought I'd say. They don't always happen when you ask, and it's easy to give in to your fears. But when you're blinded by your pain, can't see your way here through the rain, a small but still resilient voice says help is very near. There can be miracles when you believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve when you believe? Somehow you will. You will when you believe. And I know that I hope this isn't super cheesy and weird, but and I know that me sitting here reading this doesn't truly give the impact of it as these very professional singers give it in a song. But I just wanted to break down a few of these things and kind of really dig into this. And I know I talked a lot about kind of some year end, New Year resolution type ideas and thoughts last week, and kind of continuing on that same path this week because that's where we're at. We're at the end of the year, lots of thoughts, you know, and it's good. It's good to sit and look back at the year, look back at what has happened, the good things, the bad things, what we liked that we want to keep going, what we didn't like that we need to stop, and what we see that we want to start that we haven't done. And that's kind of going back to my conversation last week with Chief Viscuso, which, side note, if you have not listened to the episode with Chief Frank Viscuso from last week, please do yourself a favor. The guy it's an amazing, amazing guy. I I've looked up to him for as long as I knew anything about him. I've just really enjoyed everything he has had to say every time I've heard him speak. Everything I've seen from him, I really love his message, and knew I was going to, have a very inspiring conversation. But like I kind of told him towards the end, I wasn't expecting to be inspired in the way I was. Everything he says seems to lead back to family and just how much you just can tell how much he cares and loves his family and wants to be a great dad and all that. And so I was truly inspired by him in the area of just, family, being a better father, being a better spouse. And I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting fire service stuff. But it's just amazing to me that, you don't have to try to be inspired. You really don't. You just have to keep your eyes and your ears open because there's so much inspiration out there. You just got to look. You don't have to try hard. You just have to be willing to look and listen. And so anyway, if you have not listened to that, please listen to it. It's well worth your time, I promise you. But anyway, getting back to the message here, you know, this speaks a lot to basically fear. You know, we're talking about as far as where my mindset is with this. I wanna kind of contribute it to the fear that's holding us back. And again, these are some things that I've talked about several times in the past, but I just think there's a lot of people out there that need to continue to hear this. What fear is holding you back? What fear is keeping you from, happiness, or just being successful, or, you know, being okay with who you are? There are so many types of fears, eh, as many types of fears as there are types of people. You know, you take 100 people, and they're gonna have 100 different, you know, stories, and fear plays a lot into that. And so, I know I'm mainly talking to firefighters out there, and that being the case, firefighters are strong and brave, and we don't talk about fear because there is no fear and all this bull crap. And so I want to I want to be honest enough, and hopefully everybody out there wants to be honest enough to say that's not that's not really true. We all have fears. We all have things that we have to conquer so that we can move on. We can be successful. We can grow. We can be happy. And so that's what I want to kind of address today is what fear we're facing right now. What fear is holding us back right now? What fear do we have to step up and conquer? And I think one of the coolest lines in this was the very first one. Many nights we've prayed with no proof anyone could hear. I don't ever really get into a lot of, faith and just that type of thing in most of these episodes, but it's a big deal to me. And I just I without faith, without prayer, and I wouldn't have made it through a lot of the stuff I've made it through. And so I love what it says right there. You're basically, we don't have any proof at all that anybody's listening unless you really, really pay attention. Because, there have been times where I've looked back and was able to see, wow, I was there for a reason. I didn't know that I was there for a reason. I didn't feel like that that was happening for a reason. I didn't want to be there. But looking back now, I can tell I was there for a reason. That was part of my purpose. And that's when it happens. You don't normally see those things happening in real time. You don't see it like, oh, I'm here for a purpose and I know I am right now. It's usually looking back and seeing the big picture, and letting your kind of pride and ego aside, and just really paying attention to, wow, that's exactly why I was there. There have been so many times when I've had to change shifts or change stations, and I've hated every one of them. I've always thrown a fit like a little baby every time. But looking back on most of those, it's like I can see exactly why I was put there. And it's funny because, just saying that you threw a fit or that you were upset every time means that once you got in that place that you didn't want to be, you liked it, because then when you got moved again, you threw a fit again. So that's telling you right there that once you let yourself enjoy where you're at, you liked being there, but you still are going to throw a fit about it. And so, again, like most of my conversations, I'm bouncing around a lot, and I hope that you can kind of track with me a little bit. But I just know that a lot of us are facing some bad stuff right now. I know that this holiday season is hard for a lot of us right now. And that could look like an endless variety of things. If you're away from your kids and you can't spend time with your kids, I can't imagine how hard that would be. So those of you out there that are in that situation, I feel for you. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what situation, what occurrences, you know, what activities or what led up to that, but I know it's hard. If you're somebody that's lost parents, and you're dealing with a time that you used to enjoy with your parents, I know it's hard. I've lost my two grandpas here within the past little over a year, and that's hard. I loved both of them very much, and miss that time. And I know, my families are very family centered. Just they all love to spend time together and all that. So, my mom and all my aunts and uncles, I know that this is a very hard time for them, especially what we're facing right now with, a lot of families not being able to get together. And so, whatever it is, if you're separated from loved ones, if you're, separated from everybody because of the virus and, everything going on right now, whatever is going on, whatever you're facing right now, if it's fear, if it's just, life circumstances are kind of beating you down, just you can't give up. You got to keep going. You can't quit praying for help, praying for your purpose, praying for better days, because they're there. You just got to keep going. You got to keep going to find them. And so I hope that these words kind of mean something. I hope that they kind of speak to you. If you want to listen to the song again, it's "When You Believe" by the Pentatonix, and that's featuring Maren Morris as well. But I just really want to speak that message out to everybody out there listening right now that is struggling. I know this is a hard time of year, especially for those people that are struggling. If you're struggling with personal things that your personal demons, maybe people know about it, maybe you're struggling in silence. You got to keep pushing. You've got to keep trying. If you are doing it in silence, maybe you need to reach out to somebody that you trust to get some help. You know, the great thing about being a part of the fire service is that it is a family, and I hope it's that way. I know a lot of places aren't, but this is something that I've thought on a lot. We always talk about a brotherhood, and I have seen the failure of the brotherhood. I have seen the success of the brotherhood, and I'm starting to not like the term brotherhood as much as I used to. I want it to be the family. We have our family, but we also have our fire service family. It's not a brotherhood, it's a family. We treat each other like family. We care about each other like family. We step up and take care of what our other family members need when they are in need. And so that's really what I want to kind of call it more. So, for me, it just it feels better. So anyway, I hope that something I said today speaks to you a little bit. I hope the words that I read kind of touches somebody out there like it did me. It really kind of I just loved how they put it, and I loved the message that it's sharing. That and this is another one that really kind of it really speaks to me. Now we are not afraid, although we know there's much to fear. And so, firefighters, we're always tied to the term brave, bravery and bravest, the whatever. And I don't like I will not use that term associated with myself ever. You will never see me using that term to, in any way, shape, or form with myself. It's just I just it's not me. But I think one of the best things about that conversation is something, and I'm just going to basically paraphrase it here, and I don't know if it's a quote from somebody or not because it's just something I'm throwing out there. But I've heard the term bravery. It's not bravery isn't the absence of fear. Bravery is just doing what you need to do, even though you are afraid. And so I think that is a big way to tie this all together. You know, like I said, I'm very kind of I cringe a little bit when brave is used in a close, with myself. I don't want to call that on myself, but there are so many times that bravery is put into place, and it's not just being a firefighter. Maybe it's somebody that's dealing with an addiction that they step up and ask for help and get help and do the work that's required to get that help and to follow through and to stick with it and to make a difference in their own life and to get better. That's bravery to me. Bravery is, that a coworker is struggling, and so you reach out even though it might hurt their feelings, or they might take it personal, or they might get upset. But instead of just letting it go and not addressing it, you step up and see what you can do for them. There's so many ways that we can be brave outside of the walls of running in burning buildings and this and that and that and that. We need to be brave in areas that are going to help our brothers and sisters as well. So hopefully I was not just bouncing everywhere. I always kind of am self-conscious with these Monday episodes because it's just me. I always have ideas that really speak to me and that I want to share and hopefully kind of bring thoughts out of you like they do me, but I never really know how they go. So any of these Monday episodes, if any of them speak to you, please let me know. If there are topics that you would like to kind of address, let me know. I feel really good about most of the Thursday episodes because they involve guests and I can basically play off of their expertise and their knowledge and just kind of learn from them. Basically, my job on Thursdays is just not screw up. Let my guests carry the show like I always, hopefully do. But the Monday ones, like I said, I'm always a little self-conscious because I never know. So I appreciate everybody out there spending some time with me. I hope that something I said maybe gives you a little bit of courage to face whatever it is that you aren't facing or that you're struggling to face, because it doesn't matter how long you've fought it. It doesn't matter how long you've dealt with it. It's not too late. And there has never been a better time than right now to start. So if you haven't done anything yet to fight it, if you have been fighting it for years, whatever it is, keep going. Take the first step. Keep pushing. Keep going. I say it over and over again, but I have lived it over and over again in my, years past. And I wouldn't be sitting here today if I didn't keep going. And not to say that I am not fighting anything anymore, not to say that I'm not struggling with anything anymore, but I have learned that you got to keep pushing, because if you don't keep pushing, nobody's going to be there to keep pushing you. You've got to do it yourself. And hopefully there will be people there, but you can't depend on that. You've got to do the work yourself. So thank you. I appreciate you so much out there. I hope you have all a great Christmas. I hope you spend some time with those you love. Just get some good quality holiday time with whatever that company looks like for you. I hope to see you back on Thursday. And until then, everybody out there, stay safe and take care of each other. Thank you.